Sometimes I'm just hanging out at a bar at 2 a.m. on a Wednesday telling someone how wholesome and family-friendly Ranma is, and, well, then I remember that little guy. This is the first season of Ranma on VHS. That's right, Ranma 1/2, Ranma half, Ranma 3/4, that show featuring Shampoo, as well as some less important characters. Whatever you want to call it, this is the first season. That's right. And this isn't just the normal version of Ranma. No, because you can see right here, these are the collector's editions. That's right. We don't have any need for those regular Ranma tapes because, you know, this right here, the regular version of the movie, get that out of here. That is boring. We have the collector's versions here that are made for true weird weebs. That's right, weird weebs are we. I don't know what it is, but we have this here, and it's glorious. I wanted this when I was younger. I couldn't get it when I was younger because I was young or I was broke. I don't know, getting things when you're younger is harder, but when you're older, you could just go on the internet and buy it. And it's usually a lot less than it was the first time around because these things were expensive when they were first released. But today we are going to take a look at these releases and reminisce about them and show them off and have a good time. But to do that, we need to clear the stage, right? We need to clear the stage and start looking at them one-on-one because this is the first volume. You have girl-type Ranma, boy-type Ranma, Pichan, Genma. Everybody's here except everyone else. But on the back, you have girl-type Ranma. You have a description of what's included in these collector's versions. What actually makes these the collector's editions? The definitive way to watch Ranma when these were released in the mid-90s. So you have all of the original dialogue, you have the background music, sound effects, what a weird flex, but it was a different time. Opening and ending credits in English, Japanese, and animation-only no-credit versions, as well as extensive liner notes, which I don't have in every single one of these. The liner notes were physical notes they included, and they weren't in every volume I got. We have them in a few of them here, and we will take a look at them, but for example, I don't have them in here, but here is the tape with that lovely Viz logo that we all know and love, as well as the side of the tape with a label here. This one's a little bit faded or it's printed wrong or something. You're going to see it doesn't really match the other ones, but that is a sticker despite it looking like a part of the tape. Regardless, these tapes, just seeing them really does take me back because I had these things. I just didn't own a ton of them. I usually saw them from Blockbuster when I was renting Ranma tapes and such, but having them here now, pretty awesome. First volume, great cover, great way to lead you into the series. I mean, this is intriguing. I get why people would want to check it out from this cover. It's not too all over the place. It doesn't spoil a lot of the characters, but it's a good start indeed. And then we have volume 2, which features both boy type and girl type Ranma. Now, before I ever saw this show, I thought these were different characters, and I think a lot of people probably had similar opinions. I don't know what I thought they were. I think that I thought they were brother and sister because they do look very similar. Of course, you know, they could have been boyfriend and girlfriend. I suppose maybe Ranma wanted to date himself, but I think that most people probably assumed they were different characters until they saw this show, and then they were like, oh, it's a tale as old as time, a boy that turns into a girl, a father that turns into a panda. Pretty normal stuff, really. And then on the back, you have Akane, more information about what's included, as well as the episode descriptions. You know, it was important to have these back in the day because this would be setting on a shelf, and that side having just part of the picture and everything. You weren't really sure what you were looking at, but after you read the description, you're like, oh, that's the Ranma I wanted to get. I knew I needed some episodes of Ranma. I wasn't sure which ones they were, but these are those episodes. And then inside, you have the tape itself, as well as those liner notes. I actually have them with this one, and they're a little bit bent up there because, well, they're old. But here we have it. The Furicon Phoenix FHS Yearbook 1994 edition. That's right, this is the draft, not for publications. Don't be publicizing this. And inside, you have the introduction from the student body president. You have some photos down here. You have some descriptions of the club. You have the Kendo Club, you have the Gymnastics Club, you have the Cooking Club, all kinds of clubs for you to be part of if you were going to the high school that Ranma and Akane attended. And on the back, you have some friends forever. You have Ranma, you have Akane, you have Nabiki, you have the mysterious pig-tailed girl. Very, very important. You have some advertisements down here like the Cat Cafe. And yeah, so this is a liner note. This is what they promote on the package. And it might seem silly today, but these types of things are so cool. I love these things. We don't get these in a lot of modern releases. Some 4K releases that are horror movies and such include some pretty fantastic things, but little extras like this go a long way in my book. I love good liner notes and good inserts, and a lot of 90s anime tapes had exactly those, so they're pretty awesome. Even if these tapes are old and dusty and don't matter much now, liner notes make them worth it. So speaking of old and dusty, here's volume 3 with Ranma and Ryoga on the front. Some great boys hanging out. This one you can see is a little bit broke, but in some ways it adds to the charm, because you can tell some weird otaku out there really enjoyed this tape. And it has Ryoga on the back, so why wouldn't they? On top of that, one thing we haven't really talked about yet is that the Viz Video P.O. box is included here, and right next to it has a nice little note. Do you like anime and manga? Oh boy, I'm holding this tape. I hope I do. Send $2 for a copy of the most recent catalog featuring our full line of Japanese animation and comics in English. Your shipping and handling fee is deductible from your first order. Now, we know those catalogs are awesome, and that's how you got them. You mailed away for them from the back of a Ranma Collector's Edition tape. I mean, if you were consuming this, you were already a fan more than likely, but regardless, you could get more. And again, tape looks pretty standard. Has a nice label on the side. Great stuff. They really went all out for these. These are nice VHS tapes. That's why they're worth owning, even in modern day when there's no real reason to own some of these things. In some people's minds, I think there's reason to own these things, because without these things, how else would you have this awesome cover? I love this cover art so much. Girl type Ranma, Pichon looking crazy or drunk or something. This is a beautiful cover. This is just amazing. I love this. We'll get this tattooed on my forehead one day. Why not? On the back, you have girl type Ranma, or the pigtailed girl there. Also, in case you had not noticed yet, these are not rated, but parental guidance is suggested. I think Ranma's a nice, clean family show, but I guess some people had different opinions. And inside, you have your tape. Awesome stuff, pretty similar to the other ones. But then you also have your liner notes, which is the Ranma Encyclopedia. Now, this is good for episodes 10 through 12. It's got all kinds of info on there. It tells you things that you didn't know, like the fact that Pichon's name is a reference to a J-pop song. Did you know that? I bet you didn't know that. You might know that if you're watching this in all honesty, but I bet some people didn't know that. And now you would know it if you read these notes in detail. You have some voice actor credits. You have a bibliography. That's a throwback. You have some song lyrics here that are in Japanese and English. You have credits. You have all kinds of stuff. This is everything you need. This nice little liner note. How awesome is that? It seems silly, I know, by today's standards for some people, but these things are awesome. And they really do make these tapes special, especially these collector's editions. No boring regular editions. These are for the true hardcore collectors in all of us. The true weeb in you will appreciate these. That's how they could market these back in the day. And this one, Volume 5, is the best volume yet. And we all know why, right? Yeah, that's the reason right there. Shampoo is on the cover. You gotta love it. Got the rice cakes, got the shampoo, got the Akane, girl type Ranma. All of the things are here that you need in life. I think there's nothing new with people obsessing over anime characters, and this is one of the best ones to obsess over because it's Shampoo. How could you not love her? She turns into a cat. Cats are awesome. Shampoo's awesome. Everything's great there. And on the back, we have more Shampoo love, which is awesome. More descriptions, all that stuff. Inside, pretty standard compared to what else we've been seeing so far. Great stuff, but yeah, you gotta love this cover. It's a classic. It's it's one of the greatest hits of all time. This is like the rock and roll all night for Ranma. Shampoo is, at least, right? It's the one everybody knows, and some people might not be into it. Actually, you know what? She's not the rock and roll all night of Ranma, because that's not my favorite Kiss song. She's more like the Deuce or Cold Gin or Nothing to Lose or something like that, because she's pure quality. I guess girl type Ranma would be more like the rock and roll all night, but I digress. This is a great cover. You gotta love this. You could put this on your wall, you know, get this tattooed on your forehead, whatever it is. Enjoy it for what it is. And finally, we have the last volume, Volume 6, that has a nice little family portrait here. No Shampoo, so it's a downgrade. from the last volume, but we have the family here. They're having a good time. They're hanging out. It includes more Ranma Encyclopedia action. On the back, you got Akane. She's looking worried because she knows this is the last volume and she doesn't know what's going to happen next. It's pretty common stuff at the end of the day, really. And inside, you have the tape, of course. And we have the final volume of the Ranma Encyclopedia. It's for episodes 16 through 18. How great is this? How great is this? It does have a picture of Shampoo right there, so an improvement there, I would say. And on the back, you have more info, all kinds of info on this. All kinds of information. I'm sure someone has scanned this and put this online somewhere, so you could probably consume it right now. Who knows? Go find it. It's the final edition, though, so that makes it kind of special. And just like that, the journey that we started is over with the final volume of the collector's edition of Ranma on VHS tape. I know, I didn't think we'd get here either, but somehow we completed it. And, you know, I just really want to say that these tapes, they're special. They're special to me, at least. I'm not sure everybody else feels the same about these. Of course, somebody was selling this one online, so they made a mistake because they sold it to me. They could have kept this in their house, could have kept this in their life, could have had a great time with it, but now I get to enjoy it every day. Because, you know, I wake up in the morning, I put one of these tapes in, and that's how I get my day started, every day. And even when I don't do that, on the days that are different, I see it on my shelf and I enjoy it. This thing really brings me back to a time that I didn't get to fully experience myself, but it just seems like such a special time. Now, I know it's better to be an anime fan now. I get that. Crunchyroll is a lot more convenient. High Dive is a lot more convenient. Blu-rays are great quality and much more affordable, but this just feels like something special and something unique. And you can't replicate that feeling. These were the beginnings of true anime fandom in America in a lot of ways. Sure, there was anime before this. Robotech existed, Speed Racer existed, and there were actual tapes branded as anime before these, but I just think this is such a cool time capsule of a time that was just awesome. Plus, it's Ranma. Who doesn't love Ranma? This is a classic that everybody should experience. Now, I know it's a long series if you've never checked it out, and that might be intimidating, but really, you could just watch this first season that's 18 episodes and you'd be fine. I think it's great for quite a while after that. The last couple seasons start to get a bit dicey, but there's also some good movies, some good OVAs, things of that nature. But if you want to experience Ranma in its most pure form, just watch the first season, and this is a wonderful way to do that. Now, these are subtitled, and I'm more of a dub guy when it comes to Ranma because that's how I watched it the first time, but it's great to have both. Variety is the spice of life, and if you like spicy food, you'll probably like Ranma. Are they connected? Absolutely not, but they're both amazing things that go amazingly together. So, yeah, if you haven't already, go check out some Ranma. Maybe pick these tapes up online like I did. Do whatever you want to do to consume it. Just check the show out, and hopefully this jogs some great memories for you if you have this collection yourself, or maybe you've been longing for it like me, because it's great to own. It's truly great to own. Is this the most convenient way to consume Ranma in the modern age? Absolutely not. But there are way dumber things to own.